Hello, good afternoon po mga ka-pageantry. Ito po ang yung Tito Norman from normannorman.com and Pageantry Norms, and this is episode 10 or the season finale of season 5 of Pageantry Norms. Alam niyo po, ang bilis-bilis na bit lumakbo ng panahon. Ano? Um, Last week po, nagkaroon po tayo ng 1 week break. Supposedly, dahil nga po sa Miss World Philippines Finals, pero since hindi nga po natuloy dahil sa regulation ng IATF na magkakaroon ng return of GCQ with heightened restriction, so hindi po natuloy yung finals. So ngayon po, ginagawa na po natin ang ating season 10 finale for episode 5, season 5 rather, na susunod po ito ng season 6 pero later part po ng August. So pag-usapan po namin, planuhin po namin ang season 6 with my technical director and my producer as well. Pero this afternoon po, we have 4 beautiful guests. These 4 beautiful guests are actually some of the ladies of Miss World Philippines. Alam niyo, hindi lang minsan or twice na nakasama ko sila in some of the events of Miss World Philippines because I was almost always around them during the pre-pageant activities dahil nga po the general manager, Arnold Mercado, is a good friend of mine. Arnold Vicafia, the national director, is also a friend of mine. So I was there to actually provide moral support, assist them pag kinakailangan. And in the process, I really got to know practically all the girls. Siguro yung iba-iba yung levels po ng friendships na established ko with them. Yung sa iba, medyo hindi pa ganun na, wala naman talaga sobrang lalim. Pero masaya po ako dahil I really got to know them. And ganun naman po palagi halos nagiging papel ko when it comes to having some part in any kind of national pageant. Para nagkakaroon ng parental presence, so to speak. So without further ado, let me introduce to you our 4 guests this afternoon for our episode 10 season finale, Crown Seekers. Alam naman po natin that among the 8 crowns at stake for Miss World Philippines, na natanggalan na po na isa because Lindy Pajares was voted to become our Miss Supranational Philippines in light of the fact that the competition in Poland will be starting very, very, very soon. So she needs to live for Poland, if I'm not mistaken, kung di tomorrow, Tuesday. And then a week, a couple of, siguro mga 5 days after, susunod naman yung ating entry to Mr. Supranational, who happens to be Jan in the Heart. I also know him personally. So let's introduce our guests for this afternoon. Tuwa po ako because backstage, nakikikahan na po kami. Kumbaga, hindi ko na po kailangan makipag-warm up with these ladies because for the past month, August 1 ngayon, for the past month, medyo madalas po kami nagkakita-kita either sa Red Hotel or nag-visit sila sa BGC for bench. So, medyo familiar na rin po kami with each other. So, let me introduce to you the ladies. First of all, we have one of the prettiest faces of Miss World Philippines. Ito ba yung gusto ko po ipag-gising ko, ito yung mukha na magiging mukha ko pag umaga. Ang ganda-ganda. Tapos dentista pa po siya. You will remember her as part of Reyna ng Ali 1 in the past. Nag-Miss Millennial Philippines din po siya. So, hindi po siya complete stranger, mga ka-pageantry. So, friends, please help me welcome Shaila Rebortera. Hello, Shaila.
Hello! Hi dito and sa mga ka-pageant.
Naluloka naman ako, Shaila, talaga sa background mo dyan. Para may halo effect talaga sa'yo. Para bang feeling
Close na.
ko, ano ba? No, 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 don't. I like it actually. Na para bang, is that such a prophetic image of you? Na para bang, ay, magkakaroon na ba ang Shaila
Wow!
Rebortera? Parang ganoon. Nakakaloka, hindi ba? Oo.
Fingers crossed.
Ito pong si Shaila. Every time po nagkikita kami niyan sa mga Miss World pre-pageant activities, sobrang light po pagkasama mo siya because the minute she smiles, parang everything is all right. Parang ganoon. Ang gaan-gaan po kasi ng dating niya. Tapos kapag sumama po yung isa namin kasamang dentista pa sa Miss World Philippines, si Doc Tricia naman, isa pang, para po silang actually, para magka-personality po sila doon eh. Para bang, pag ngumiti na, parang, ay, ang sarap-sarap na ng tingnan. Para bang, ako, ang ganda-ganda ko na rin. Parang ganoon.
Wow!
Oo.
Mana,
Ay, oo.
mana kami sa iyo, Tito.
Ay, nakakaloka lang. Shaila, are you in Cebu right now? Or in
No,
Manila?
Tito. I'm actually already based here in Metro Manila. It's been less than a year pa naman because I'm working
Oo.
and practicing my profession here in Manila.
Ay, nakakaloka. She's working with a clinic na pala.
Yes
Oo.
po.
And, pero ano ba, curious lang ako, Shaila. Alam mo, magkakaroon tayo ng ECQ na naman starting next week. How will that affect your work?
Actually, Tito, I am working for a clinic whose branch is actually situated inside a mall. So we're still waiting for the statement of the staff and the management of the mall if ever they decide to have their tenants close the branches. But as far as I know, right now, we're still operating naman. Of course, we also want to let people know that the clinic kasi is one of the safest places for us naman. Kasi we follow strict protocols talaga. Everyone is wearing the protective gear. May mga antigen test for all patients before we start everything. So, yeah, it's a safe place for us naman.
Ay, pero okay lang namang ma-promote siya kung okay lang sa'yo. Saan mall ba yan? Is it somewhere in BGC? Somewhere in Makati? Somewhere in Quezon City? O yung place, location lang. Sa ano ba?
Sa
Quezon
BGC
City.
po. Dito
Okay. All right. Sige. So, kumbaga para at least may idea na ako. Kasi nga, kung ganyan naman kaganda ang dentista, Diyos ko Lord, ganadong-ganado mga pasyente mo. Ano ba yon, Shaila? May ano ka na ba doon? May mga, ano man tawag doon? Parang mga suking customers na para bang pagpupunta doon for a treatment, ikaw ang hinahanap nila, kailangan ikaw ang gagawa sa kanila and stuff like that.
Yes po, Tito. In our clinic kasi, we want naman talaga whoever handles the patient first should be handling the patient na all throughout, especially for general procedures lang. But since I'm working for a multi-specialty clinic, so we have specialists. Like, we cater to whatever the patient needs kasi. So it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of clinic. So if you need some surgeries, we have the best dental surgeons. If you need mga root canal, we also have specialists for that. Or mga braces, we also have specialists for that. So yun po yun, tita. For
What
now,
if, oo,
yes po.
oo. Sige, go ahead, Shaila. For
For
now,
now, I'm practicing general dentistry pa. So I'm doing the general procedures. But I'm hoping to specialize someday for surgery and maybe cosmetic. I'm thinking about it. But right now, my love is really for surgery.
pero curious lang ako, if for example, if someone enters the clinic, tapos nirekomenda siya to go to that clinic, siyempre lapit siya sa receptionist, sasabihin niya, nirecommend po ako dito, pero ang sabi po sa akin, rekomenda, dapat daw si Doktora Shaila ang gumawa sa akin. Posible ba yon?
Yes, Tita, it's possible as long as I'm present in the clinic.
Anong araw ka bang wala? Anong araw ka bang wala? Nakakaloka.
Pag ano na po, pag may Miss World activities, wala ako.
Hindi, pero on normal working weeks,
um,
may day off ka ba or
yes, we we work 6 days a week. But right now, especially with the heightened restrictions, so we try to limit naman our traveling to the clinic also. So 4 or 5 times a week.
Ay, nakakaloka.
But we're
Oo,
ready
si
naman, for example, dito, our patient would like to request to see me on a Friday, and unfortunately on that day, I'm on call. So I can attend to the patient's needs naman. Because first and foremost,
ayun.
we're doctors, so patients first.
Kasi nga po, the reason why I'm asking that, kasi nga, viewer, si Dr. Shaila po kasi, para bang pag siya yung dentista mo, you would really feel at ease very quickly because number one po, ang ganda-ganda niya. Number two, pag gumiti siya, alam mo na hindi mabigat ang kamay niya. So, alam mo, para bang you are in good hands kapag siya ang dentista mo. Hindi ba, Doc Shaila?
Thank you, Tito. Actually, madami kasing takot sa dentista. A lot of people are afraid of going to the dental clinic because of their past experiences. So, we really try our best to ease off the anxiety, make our patients comfortable, kasi that's how the treatment will go better naman eh. To make sure our patients now wala masyadong stress so that we can treat them better, of course.
Ano ka? Pag ganyan mo kagandang dentista, Diyos ko, masistress ka ba? Masistress ka kung paano ka uuwi na kapag tapos na yung treatment. Nakakaloka. Shaila, just introduce our three other guests before we
Sure,
go into a
Tito.
group discussion. Our second guest for this afternoon, she represents Oriental Mindoro in Miss World Philippines. Although I met her first um, before the pandemic when I judged Mutya ng Lobo in Batangas. Oo. Pero ngayon po, for Miss World Philippines, she is actually representing Oriental Mindoro. Although, Diyos ko, kuda buka pa nakita nyo ganyan, pero pag ang galing-galing pong mag-Italiano ng batang ito. Uh, Friends, let's welcome number 21, Kim Babao. Hello, Kim.
Hi, Tito. Hi to everyone who's watching.
Yes, Kim, ano ba? Kumusta ka these past few days? Nakapagpahinga ka naman ba? Nakakabawi ka ba naman in terms of, syempre, nung sunod-sunod ang activities ng Miss World Philippines, walang araw na free. Oo. Nakakabawi ka na ba ng mga tulog mo and all?
Yes, I had a lot of sleep, right? As soon as I arrived here sa bahay ko, I quickly took a long nap for actually a whole day to regain my energy again. But right now, I'm going back to preparing myself and equipping myself for the project.
Pero you're staying in Manila still, Kim?
No,
Or in the province?
I'm staying here
Saan
in
ba?
Batangas because we also have a house here in Batangas. So it's nearby Manila area, Metro Manila area.
Hindi naman yan siguro sa Lubo, Batangas, Kim. Ano
No,
yan?
we have a house in Batangas City mismo.
Oo, hindi. Kaya ko lang naman sinabi, hindi naman siguro sa Lubo yan eh. Kasi nga, alam mo ba, talagang nung po talaga kami ng Lubo noon, ang naaalala ko lang talaga, yung sigsag na dinaanan.
Yes,
Sabi
Tito.
ko, ano ba to? Sabi ko, parang mas nahilo pa yata ako dito kesa nung dinaanan ko sa bitukang manok sa Quezon, na para bang matalim ang mga sigsag dito sa papuntang Lubo. Ano bang, although pag dumating ka na doon, okay na. Kumbaga,
Yes,
oo, VIP treatment na agad. Oo.
of
Ang
course.
gagawa mo pa ng mga guard, mga naka-detail na mga security, yung ganoon. Pero, ang hindi alam kasi ng karamihan ng ating mga nanonood din, mga followers ng Pageantry Norms Skin, sinabi ko nga kanina, you spent part of your growing up years din in Italy, hindi ba?
Yes. I was born,
Saan nga ba exactly in Italy, Kim?
well, I was born and raised until 12 or 13 years old in Milan, Italy. I spent my whole elementary days until first year high school in Italy. So I'm
So,
fluent in Italian.
oo, kaya nga eh. Kumbaga, yung formative years mo,
Yes.
Talagang magiging matatas ka in Italian because those are the years na paglaki na talaga ma-absorb mo yung lingwahe, hindi ba? So,
Yes.
how did you manage, Kim, to preserve din naman yung knowledge mo, yung fluency mo in Filipino?
Actually, Tito, when I was in Italy, I wasn't really knowledgeable about the Filipino language, although I was familiar already with the Filipino culture because my parents were very strict in maintaining the Filipino culture in our house. But when it comes to the language, Filipino language, in Tagalog, I wasn't really fluent. So when I moved here in the Philippines, it was then that I started to learn both Tagalog and English because Italian was was the only language I could speak and communicate with back then.
Oo, kasi nga, ako kasi, I, I, I also teach. So, pero alam ko talaga that yung mga very important yung mga years mo na approaching ka ng 10 years old, mga 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, because kung ma-expose ka sa several languages noong time na yon, pwedeng tatlong languages ang alam mo in one sitting. Parang gano'n. Pero how long did it take you naman, Kim, para magkaroon ng maayos na pag-converse in Filipino?
Personally, through my experience, when I moved here in the Philippines, I learned Tagalog actually really fast. It was within 3 to 4 months, I was already able to converse in Tagalog straight. Although my grammar was not correct all the time, but I could keep up a conversation in Tagalog with all the people around me, and also in English.
Pero siguro, in the household in Italy, naririnig mo rin naman siguro sila mom and dad mo na nag-uusap in Filipino, hindi ba?
Few
Or,
times,
oo. So, parang hindi na strange sa tenga mo yung mga
yes,
salita.
yes,
Oo. Kaya, kumbaga, when you finally went back to the Philippines, hindi ganoon kahirap for you to
yes,
absorb more of it kasi parang, okay, I heard that word before, so hindi na ako mahihirapan. Oh.
yes,
Now, Kim, ano talaga ako, tuwang-tuwa ako sa national costume that you wore for Miss
yes,
World
Tito.
Philippines, hindi ba? Kaya I'm actually quite surprised na hindi siya nasa top 10. Kasi nga, para sa akin kasi, iba kasi pag yung bang gawa noong national costume is kinamay talaga ng sobrang effort talaga. Para bang hindi to ganchilyo, as in talagang isa-isa na wini-weave yung para mag-form ng isang dress. Kwento mo nga, Kim.
Yes, my national costume is inspired by the Scoop's owl in Oriental Mindoro. It's an endemic species of owl that can only be found in Oriental Mindoro. Kuya Ape Taiko Del Carmen is my designer, also the one who made the costume. He carefully created that masterpiece for more than 4 months, I think, and it he would create it day and night through with the help of course, other people such as Genesis Matosa, Mauro Leander, and also Anthony Dwayne. They were all uh, working together in order to create that masterpiece, that costume. And actually, it weighs around 25 kilogram at most.
Bigat.
And it was made from the scratch. It was you could see that the strings before it turned into a whole costume. The owls were made, each owl was made by hand, and it was an amazing experience to wear it.
Kasi nga nakakaloka, I'm sure pinagpuyatan ito, Kim, ano?
Yes,
Because
people.
hindi naman to yung para bang, hindi naman to yung parang ordinaryong damit wherein yung mga designs pwede tahiin on top of the
Yeah.
dress. O ito talaga para talagang ano ka, nagwi-weave talaga, weaving talaga.
Yes.
Oh,
Even Tito yung behind ko, Vico, our stylist, he had to weave it in order to close it backstage.
ay, iba rin ang Vico, ha? Talagang naki-weave na rin. Alam
Yes.
mo, Alam mo, Kim, naalala ko bigla, di ba you gave me something, a little token, para a
Yes.
souvenir? Was it part of your costume? Nakakaloka. Parang, no, kasi the reason why I'm asking that question, Kim, kasi when you first gave me yung token, parang souvenir na yon. Actually, wait, ha? Kukunin ko lang. Ito
Sige,
nakasabit sa tabi
tita.
ko eh. Kaloka.
Oh, there it is.
Eto po siya. Inabot sa akin ni Kim, parang souvenir. Pero now that I was looking at her national costume, para bang yung parts noon are present dun sa portion noong gown, hindi ba, Kim? Tama ba ako?
Yes.
Oo.
We actually thought of giving you a small token and konting pasilip about my national costume. Pero
Alam
hindi
mo ba,
namin sinabi to surprise you as well.
actually, when you gave this to me, itong souvenir item na to, ang ang unang pumasok sa mind ko, sabi ko, para ba itong yung, ano ba to, parang dream catcher? Kasi nga, yung
Mm,
dream catcher, parang ganito, bilog nga lang siya, na parang
yeah.
may whip. Sabi ko, kaya, ako naman, sinabit ko dito sa, tabi ko dito, para habang nag-vlog ako, nakikita ko siya palagi. Sabi ko, baka naman, kapag ma-dream ko bigla yung aking dream man, kapag
Mm.
tinitingnan ko siya palagi. Nagkakaloka, no? But anyways, alam mo, actually, nice ko lang po ito upuan ko. Sandali lang po. Actually, matagal ko inabangan yung mga national costume photos niyo because um, gusto ko talaga makita for myself kung ano yung hirap na pinagdaanan in doing that costume. Kasi di ba nakita mo, nag-post nga ako kanina about it. Sinama ko
Oo.
yung mga videos. Kasi nung nakuha ko yung mga videos, wala pa ako idea kung ano yung entire costume kasi nga nung charity gala lang nag-reveal eh. Kaya nung nakita ko, nabi ko, ay, ito pala kako yung talagang
Yes.
ah, hirapan na costume. So, introduce ko lang yung two more guests natin, Kim, tapos mag-group discussion na tayo,
Okay,
ha?
tita.
Okay? Our third guest this afternoon, ay, Diyos ko po, ito mong batang ito, tuwing makikita ko na siya ngayon, totoo po itong sinasabi ko. Para na po talaga akong nagugutom dahil naaalala ko na talaga ang Lapas Batchoy tuwing nakikita ko siya. And to think po, nagsimula yan, mahihain bata pa po ito, pero tuwa na po ako sa kanya ngayon because actually, masarap po siya kausap pala. Kumbaga, pag kayo dalawa lang, nakakatuwa siya eh. Kumbaga, akala mo lang sa una parang she's kind of distant. Pero hindi pala. The Pride of Iloilo, please welcome number 29, Ann Palmares. Hello, Ann.
Angie, hi, Tito Norman. Hello to everyone viewing.
Diyos ko, Ann, naloka naman ako dito kay Sheila May Tamonan tsaka kay Floyd Susano. Puro ikaw talaga ang sinisigaw ng mga hashtag. Alam mo, totoo po yung sinasabi ko, mga ka-pageantry. Tuwing nakikita ko ngayon si Ann, nagugutom na ako.
Miss Batchoy.
Hindi alam mo, actually, although, let's be honest, hindi naman to first time na nakakita ako ng costume na which depicts food. Kasi ginawa na to ng sa Vietnam, yung banh mi, tapos ginawa na rin to ng ibang countries. Pero nakakatuwa lang yung designer mo, si Tata Blas Pinuela. Batche talaga ang ginamit niya and ewan ko talaga nagugutom ako. Yun mo nga, anong reaction mo the first time you saw this costume, Anne?
Well, we had an initial discussion, especially after the initial screening, Tito Norman, when I heard that we will be having a national costume. So I want to really prepare, and we wanted to steer away from the common, I might say it's common na, since it's really well known here in Iloilo, which was the Dinagyang Festival. So we wanted to give the feathers a rest. And so when we discussed this with my designer, Sir Tata Blas Penuela, he also said that he wanted another costume that would that's what you call pasabog to
Yes.
people, yes, because something really unique. And initially, we would thought of how about religion? Well, that's very common naman since all of us here in the Philippines are very religious people. And so we thought of a really unique representation of Iloilo City, and that is through the food, which was the La
Totoo.
Paz Batchoy, because it really originated from La Paz district here in Iloilo City. And at first, when I saw the costume, I was like, I was also shocked because that bowl on
Aha.
that I'm holding on my left arm, when it
Mm.
was on the table, I thought they ordered something that's for sharing. When I so I was also shocked because it was really big and I thought it was food. And little did I know it's part of my costume. And it was, I might say, Sir Tata Blas Penola was really, really creative in doing this costume. I mean, the details gave me goosebumps. And when I saw the body of the costume, I really thought it was just another piece of his design. But it was awesome how he made it look Filipino at the same time, giving it a very modern twist and showing people the dish and pride of Iloilo City, which is the original La Paz Batchoy.
Ay, pero naloloka ako talaga sa'yo. Dumating ka doon, ipapakita sa'yo yung outfit. Tapos akala mo, pinapakain ka ng napakalaking bowl ng lapas na batchoy.
Akala ko din, Tito. I also said to them, I thought we're sharing to. Little did I know it was part of the costume. But I
Kasi
might
nga,
say,
ang laki-laki kasi talaga ng bowl,
yes,
ano?
and it was very detailed. Like, I thought, and it was soup
Hindi alam
in
mo
a very
talaga.
big bowl.
Totoo naman po yun, mga ka-pageantry. Ako po, personally, every time I go to Iloilo, bumababa pa lang po kami sa eroplano, nakakaamoy na ako ng batchoy. Kumbaga, siguro ano ko lang yon, siguro parang imagination ko lang yon. Naghahanap na po ako. Like for example, yung last 2 trips ko to Iloilo, yung arrival time ko sa Iloilo were always either approaching lunch or approaching dinner. So, pag galing mo sa airport ng Iloilo, madadaanan mo kasi may 24-hour open na Batchoy restaurant doon. Sa, hindi ko na po sabihin ng brand, promote po natin yung Ted's Batchoy. Diyos ko Lord. Na talagang hihintuan ko, ay, habi ko may Batchoy dito, ganoon. Kumbaga, kasi punong-puno ng tao palagi. Kaya,
Yes.
pag kasi puno ng tao, nakaka-motivate lalo na huminto at kumain, hindi ba? Oh,
Yes, Tito, that's true. And it was very timely that time nung gala night because it was also raining. So people really related to it, especially the Ilonggos.
hindi ba? Ito ng ating viewer si Sheila. Na-meet mo ko sa Iloilo, nakakaloka. Sana naman hindi nung time na naghahanap ako ng kadate, no? Parang ano naman. Hindi naman po ako naghahanap ng kadate pag nasa Iloilo dahil behave po ako pag nandoon ako. Oo. Pero ayun pa, pag nasa Iloilo nga pala ako, lagi ako nag-guest kasi sa Bombo Radio ni Bombo Ian kasi palagi niya
Bombo.
akong yung Bombo
Yes,
Radio
Tito.
doon. Kumbaga, I always have very fond memories of Iloilo. Pero ikaw ba, nung sutsut mo na yung costume na yan, noong charity gala, tapos nakita mo na ang reaction ng mga tao, how did you feel?
Actually, I was really focusing on my performance, Tito, because I really want to depict the character of Ilonggos, which was really jolly, especially when they said, my mentor said to me kasi that I should sell the Labas Batchoy to the judges. And as for me, it was really overwhelming with the support that they've given me and also with the reaction of all the people after the gala night. I was only informed after na lang po. But it became trending. So, yeah, I'm
Oo
really
naman,
thankful.
oo. Kaya, kumbaga, I think mas maintindihan ng mga fellow candidates mo Like ako, when I blogged about the national costumes earlier, sinabi ko na doon, my number one pick po talaga for national costume is the Basbachoy ensemble of Ann Palmares. Dahil hindi na ako nag-mention ng iba pa muna. Yun lang talaga minention ko kasi napaka-unique. Tuntua ako. Kumbaga parang sabi ko, hindi ito sinuot ng mga kasama niyang mga title holders na si Rabia at saka si Karen. Sabi ko, siyang naglapas
Oh
batchoy.
my gosh.
Nakakatuwa pa. Eto po, bago ko lang introduce yung final guest po natin for this afternoon. Gusto ko lang po sabihin, may memories of Anne. Noong una po talaga, akala ko napakamahiya ang bata nito na parang she would only stay in one corner, na parang she would not mix with the others. Siguro nga na medyo she's still feeling her way through.
That's
Pero
true,
ngayon,
Tito.
pero ngayon po, para ang sarap niyang, para ang sarap niyang kakwentuhan, ang sarap niyang kasama. Kasi, ano rin po ito Diyos ko, may pagka-joker din po ito kung talagang makikilala niyo. Oo, pero ano po, yung typical po na Ilongga, na malambing, mga gano'n, nakakatuwa, hindi baan, Wala ka bang
Thank you,
babating,
Tito Norman.
wala ka bang babating boyfriend?
Wala po.
Ay, nakakaloka. Bigla, hinuli bigla eh.
Babatiin ko na lang yung mga supporters and friends ko, especially Miss
Ay, ikaw, ang
Sheila.
dami-dami nga sa yung sumababate. Sige, introduce ko lang ang final guest natin and before we go into group discussion na. Ang fourth and final guest po natin for this episode. Ito po, tuwa ako. Somehow, the very first time na nagkakilala po kami niya sa Red Hotel, ewan ko, bakit somehow nag-click po eh. Kasi she has a way of making people feel at ease. And to think, attorney po yan, and usually attorneys always give you this very, ibang you typically stern exterior na para bang, ano to, medyo high-strung, mayabang. Pero hindi po pagkausap nyo na yan, she's very down to earth. Nakakatuwa po siya. And she speaks very well po. Diyos ko po, ang abogadong ito. Friends, let's introduce number 42. I call her Mara Ru. For you, Mara Ruiz. Attorney Mara Ruiz. Mara Ru.
Hi, Tito. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon to all our viewers, and of course to my dearest Tita Norma.
Nakakalawa ka lang.
Hello
Ito maganda introduction ko sa iyo. Napaka-special, hindi ba?
I
Oo,
love it.
talaga.
Thank you so much. But you're right, Tito. Nag-click ako sa inyo. I love you.
Hindi, ano kasi, totoo naman yung sinabi ko, Mara. Kasi like, screening pa lang kasi sa Red Hotel, nandoon ako when you actually screen. Tapos, the minute you started speaking, one of my biggest weaknesses kasi talaga when screening ladies na aspiring to join a national pageant is paging nagpasabog na bigla ng kanilang pagiging articulate and everything, ay, ano na ako, I get mesmerized immediately. Pag ang galing-galing mo magsalita. And hindi po siya, hindi po siya yung typical na para akala mo makikita mo sa courtroom na naglilitigate, ha? She speaks just like any of us,
Thank you
except
po.
better. Yes. Please
Thank you
help
po.
me give our viewers some idea on the lawyer behind that very smiling exterior, Attorney Mara Ruiz.
Thank you for the very warm welcome, po, Tito Norman. Hello, everybody. I'm Mara Ruiz po, or my friends call me Mara Ru. I'm candidate 42 po for Miss World Philippines, representing the island paradise of Bohol. I'm a sustainability lawyer and an environmental law professor at a public school po.
When you say sustainability lawyer, your focus is primarily on the environment. Am I right?
Yes po,
Or
Tito, exactly, precisely. I handle sustainability reports of corporations po. So I cover larger grounds for corporate responsibility po.
okay, you might have been asked this question before, but Why specialize in sustainability law? Sobrang kukonti lang ba kayo in that field that talagang parang the market value is high dahil people have only very limited choices kung sino ang nag-specialize yan or what? Ano ba? Ano ba? Kwentuhan mo nga ako, Mara.
I come from a beautiful island paradise of Bohol. You've been there and you've told me beautiful stories when you were going around, and also the people, the resorts. It was exquisite. And growing up there, it really taught me to value the environment and how it affects our communities. And growing up, luckily, I was able to engage in environmental law when I was in Ateneo Law School po. I became the president of the Environmental Law Society of Ateneo, and this really opened my eyes. Like, ay, may ganito pala. Wow, we can do something about it. We can influence legislators. We can let our voices be heard in behalf of the people in the communities who are not heard. And this is also reflected in my projects in Bohol, where I have adopted fishing communities and I convey their interests to the local governments and other authorities so their needs are heard po.
Pero, correct me if I'm wrong, Mara, yung focus mo on sustainability law, it wasn't something that dates back to your childhood days, no? Parang your eyes were open to it when you were in law school na parang, okay, I think this area interests me a lot or something. Am I right in assuming that, Mara?
Uh, in a sense po, I became more active when it came to projects, and I became actively campaigning for environmental legislation, ganun po. Pero as a Boholano po kasi, in 2013 we experienced this tremendous earthquake po, 7.2 magnitude, and when this happened, it really opened my eyes po na we're really just stewards of the environment. I was engaged in a lot of missions, yung medical mission, and also relief operations po. And this really opened my eyes and helped me, encouraged me to pursue something in the near future. And thankfully, yung environmental law po sa Ateneo, I was given an opportunity to embrace this sector of the legal community po.
Mara, I've always associated this adjective, which is brave, to someone who's practicing law. You have to be brave all the time. And when I say brave,
Opo.
para bang brave covers different dimensions. Hindi lang yung brave na para bang brave in spirit or brave ka na malakas ang loob mo. Pwede rin kasi yung brave ka na matapang ka talaga in fighting siguro people in high positions who have, kumbaga, marami kasi sa mga kaso mo, kumbaga, kung sustainability, kung environment, yan, definitely there will be certain parts in the Philippines wherein the cases against the environment are far more alarming, siguro, no? So, how do you associate the word brave with you, Mara?
Thank you, Tito. When it comes to the practice of law, especially with environmental sustainability, you have to be brave because there's not a lot of you doing this. It's not financially attractive. You don't have multi-million dollar clients who will advocate for your cause. However, what really drives you into becoming brave and pursuing it are the communities and the people behind what you do. So for me, it's the fishing communities, the forest rangers in Masumi. We've coordinated with all these little communities. Tapos, nakaka-encourage po siya, and it really pushes me to go into a boardroom and talk to big corporate bosses, which I've been doing the past week kasi I'm back at work po. And also to communicate po and to facilitate open dialogue po.
Oh, kasi nga parang nangyayari pala dyan, Mara, is yung mga kalaban mo ang mayayaman. So
And
parang
they make
yung
the
mga,
biggest impact po kasi.
and then yung mga pinoprotect mo, yun naman ang limited ang resources. Siyempre, fishing communities, yung mga ano. So para ka bang, ano ba yan? Para bang puro pro bono cases halos ang hinahawakan mo kung tutuusin. Di ba? Ikaw, it's not financially rewarding, but it can be very fulfilling Kumbaga,
Opo.
the minute na ma-accomplish mo, maipanalo mo yung kaso and stuff like that. Tapos, naku, paano pa yan pag naging beauty queen ka, Mararo? Naku, mananalo ka na sa lahat ng kaso mo dahil matatakot yung mga kalaban mo. Parang, ay ba yan? May corona pa yan. Oh, oo.
Actually, Tito, thanks for mentioning that. But because of the pandemic, a lot of the corporations po have been opening up their doors to corporate sustainability because it attracts investors, especially international investors. And that's what we're
Aha.
trying to harness. Now that it's appealing po kasi, we want, of course, to be able to make use of this appeal. So ngayon, di ba maganda na po kapag natural, kapag fresh from the fresh produce from the market, straight to the market. And we're trying to make use of this trend, this new sustainability trend that green is good and it will call on investors po.
Ay, parang maalala ko na naman bigla ngayon yung the time there was a time when I think I made kwento to you already that when I visited Bohol once before and we stayed at
Mahal
the
beef farm.
bee farm. Oh, well,
I
no.
remember it vividly.
I have to be very honest. The rooms are very nice, actually. Well, I'm unsure, but they gave us very good, very nice rooms that overlooks
Opo,
the
the
sea.
forest.
Oo. Kaya, pero talagang unique ang breakfast doon. Mara, unique talaga. Unique. No, I'm saying unique because it's really unique. Dahil yung bread yung pandesal nila is either color green or color
Mhm.
orange. Oo, yung bang organic. Very organic
Opo,
yung food.
opo.
So, hindi ko naman sinasabi, it's not acquired taste. It's just surprising na parang, oh, the bread is color green. Okay,
Exciting.
exciting. Oh, parang ganon. Oo, kumbaga parang it's something new. Pero bawing-bawi talaga dun sa kwarto. Mararo,
Okay.
ibang level. Oo. But anyways, direct, let's go to a group discussion. Let's return the three other ladies para naka one frame na po kaming lahat. Ibalik na po natin si Shaila, si
Hi,
Kim, at si
Tito.
Ann. Oo. Ay, nakita ko na naman yung coronang halo na yon. Hindi sana kakaloka. All right. Now we go to the part of our program, the fun facts. Each one of you will share a fun fact and tingnan lang natin kung sino makakapagbigay ng pinaka nakakatuwang fun fact about all of you. I-reverse natin. Kim, you go first.
Okay, Tito. Something funny about me is a lot of people have always been asking me why am I so white skinned? What is my secret behind my personing skin? And there was one instance when I shared with my mentors that actually my mom told me about a story where pinaglihi niya ako sa bagong saing
Sa?
na kanin.
Oh!
That's why I
Nakaka-
don't get tanned even if I stay under the sun for more than 3 or even a whole day. I don't get tan easily. And my mom actually told me that kaya ako hindi nangingitim is because pinaglihi ako sa bagong saing na bigas na kanin.
Nakakaloka naman yan. Ang swerte mo naman. Oh, kahit pala nasa ilalim ka ng araw, kahit
Yes,
nagpo-photoshoot ka, hindi ka iitim.
I have a hard time
Diyos
getting
ko,
tan.
nakakaloka. Ako magpupunta kunyari ako sa Alona Beach sa Bohol. Pupunta lang ako ng 15 minutes sa water. Pagbalik ko, may tan lines na agad.
Wow.
Yeah, oh,
Oo,
I actually envy that, Tito.
nakakaloka, no? All right, Miss Batchoy, fun fact.
Yes, Tito. Well, not many knows about this, but I've been joining declamation since high school, and I've also become part of theater plays when I was in third year and fourth year high school, and I can also somewhat imitate Queen's voices, like their introduction.
Ay, nako. Maniwala ako. Kailangan may pruweba. You have to prove it.
Sige, I'll give two. Oh, di ba
Go,
two?
go. Go, go, go.
This was actually a joke because I used to do this to the girls during rehearsals and
Yeah.
they make fun
I
of me a
love that.
lot.
Go.
Okay. Samantha May Bernardo, Miss Grand, Philippines.
And then,
Catriona Elisa Magnayan Gray, Philippines.
hindi ka pa nga bigay na bigay niyan eh. Actually, kung hindi tayo naka-live streaming ngayon, sigurado ako, sinisigaw ka pa ng ng yung Philippines mo, talagang sumisigaw ka at the top of your lungs, hindi
Oh my
ba?
gosh, huwag mo akong i-expose, Tito.
Oo, hindi ba nakakatuwa lang yan? Ay, naku, hindi. Ikaw pa, ano na ako, tutuwa. Alam niyo actually, mabuti na lang talaga, hindi ako naglilihi the past month, kundi combination ng lahat kayong mga babae ang magiging baby ko dahil paglilihan ko kayong lahat, hindi ko alam kung sino magiging kamukha. Okay? Doc Shaila, fun fact,
Fun fact about me, Tito, when I was younger, I was actually very boyish. And yung taste ko in music was actually OPM bands like Parokya ni Edgar, Kamikaze, mga ganun po, Tito.
nako, huwag mo naman sa akin mo pa sasabihin niya ganyan. I always, mahilig din ako sa OPM. Oo.
A lot of people are shocked. I'm shocked kasi when I tell them, parang hindi nila na-imagine na memorize ko yung lyrics ng mga kanta ni Bamboo, yung mga ganon. Especially pag beauty queen ka, parang ini-expect nila na iba yung taste mo in music.
Oo. Well, ako naman kasi, Doc Shaila, kabaliktaran. When I was young, very very ladylike daw ako. So, pero mahilig ako sa OPM na rin. Oo, pero pag sinabi ko naman sa iyo kung sino mga OPM ko mga hilig, hindi mo na sila kilala because it was a totally different generation. Now, I have high expectations from the fun fact that will be given by a lawyer. Mara, what's your fun fact?
I spent most of my life as an academic scholar po. So I was a scholar at the University of the Philippines. I was a scholar in Ateneo Law. Like Kim, I also studied in Italy for a few months. I was a scholar in China. So, and then I try to memorize tongue twisters. So I have some tongue twisters in Italian, in Chinese, and po. So, do you need a sample?
What's your tongue twister in Italian, Mara?
I have sopra la pangkalakapakanta, sotto la pangkalakapakrepa, which is the over the
What
bench.
is it?
Is that the
Si-
Capra one?
Yeah, it's si Kim po.
Capra Capra. I
Sopra la
can say that.
pangkalakapakanta, sotto la pangkalakapakrepa.
Yeah.
I learned that in Sicily po.
Nakakaloka.
Yes, actually.
I studied in Italy for a few months po.
Krepa
And
lang
in
ang
China.
naiintindihan ko. Ay, nako. Si Kim, ayoko, I cannot say the words in Italian that I know. Diyos ko, narinig mo na ako,
Yes,
Kim, when
Tito.
I said those words. I cannot say them in a live show dahil ako mababash po ako. Kaya hindi ko pwedeng sabihin. But anyways, since si Mara ang huling sumagot, yung next segment natin is our serious Q&A na. You'll be the first to answer.
That's deep.
Are you ready, Mara?
Absolutely.
All right. Mara, with national elections coming in 2022, where do you see areas of improvement in our country? Where do you see na ang focus ng areas of improvement in our country for the next president?
The focus when it comes to the upcoming elections should be more inclusivity and diversity, because we can see from our House of Representatives, our Congress, our masses are not properly represented. And this can be seen in the laws and the kind of legislation, especially during this pandemic. We have reforms that only cater to the wealthy or those who have jobs that can be work from home. However, we could see that there are jobs where people cannot eat if they cannot go to work. And we have to become more inclusive. And we this must be seen in the kind of leaders that we have and in the kind of institutions that are established during these elections.
Of course, you know by now I have always very high expectations on you because you're an attorney.
Yes. You also said that during my violin presentation. You said,
Well,
I have
gano'n naman ako
high
palagi.
expectations of you.
I don't say it to everyone, Mara. You should feel complimented.
Thank you, Tita.
Kim, are you ready for your question,
Yes,
Kim?
Tito.
Kim, if you could teach a new class in school, a new subject matter rather, what would it be and why?
Well, personally, for me, it will definitely be culture sensitivity. As a woman who was born and raised in a foreign country, I've been exposed to different races and culture at a very young age. And I want that that knowledge to be shared with each and every student here that we have in the Philippines, in our country especially. Because if we open the eyes of the children on what is culture diversity and sensibility, we will be able to achieve a world where barriers will no longer be a thing and everyone can live as one, which is humanity.
Pag nag-punctuate na ng ngiti si Kim, naluloka na ako eh. Talagang ano na, gagano na siya. Oh. La Paz Batchoy, are you ready, girl?
Yes, Tito Norman.
And to a woman who has been asleep for the entire 2020 up to now, what would you say ang na-miss niya aside from the pandemic?
Well, aside from the pandemic, I'd say she has missed a lot. She has missed seeing the resiliency of the Filipino people. She has missed seeing the spirit of giving during this pandemic, especially in the form of community pantries, also on donation drives, and also bayanihan personified, where all of us get to help each other in all aspects. On a more personal level, I do believe that she has missed bonding with her family and also knowing herself a little bit more, especially during this pandemic and how she could conquer the world through it.
May follow-up question lang dyan. Yun ang trick ng question na to, Anne. May follow-up question
Sure,
dyan.
Tita.
Um, what do you think naman ang na-miss niya related to the pandemic in terms of sa personality? Kumbaga, yung kung anong dapat nadagdag sa personality niya at di niya na-experience yung pandemic.
Well, I might say for me, since I've been away through this and I've witnessed how this pandemic has caused us, I do believe that there are a lot of personal developments she has missed. As for me, I have experienced knowing a lot more about myself, knowing more hobbies, especially like baking. I learned to bake during this pandemic and just basically learning new things.
All right. Thank you, Miss Lapas Batchoy. Eh, na Lapas Batchoy na natatawag ko sa iyo.
Oo nga.
Term of endearment yun, dear. Pag tinawag na ka na gano'n, may term of endearment na yun. Shaila, are you ready?
Yes, Tito.
Shaila, do you think modern men and women are given the same opportunities in life now? Why or why not?
Well, I don't think it's still equal. That is why we have representatives also in the government and in society fighting for our rights as women still. But I would also like to acknowledge the growth that all of us women were able to experience right now as compared to how we were treated years ago. And right now, we can already vote. We already have the right to education, which is something that was missing before, decades ago, centuries ago. And for that, we are thankful. And because of this opportunity that we have as women, we are able to voice out more concerns, more issues that we need to talk about.
Nakatuwa itong si Shaila. Minsan talaga pag nagkasalita, parang si Pia Wurtzbach yung nagkasalita, naloloka ako.
That's an
And
alter
because,
ego.
and because of that, the fifth question will go back to Attorney Mara Ruiz. But I want the three others to also give their opinion on it because I think it's something that affects all of us also. Mara, what are the evils of social media and how do you avoid them? I want the
The
others to
evil.
share your opinion. What are the
Yeah.
evils of social media and how do you avoid them?
This is very relevant and timely in our day today, especially during the pandemic where everybody is so engrossed in social media and people have a lot of time. And I think it all boils down to digital etiquette or what we call netiquette. We have to be able to respect people the way they are as people and not just as digital constructs online. They're more than just names and troll accounts. They're more than just photos from the internet. These are real people with real feelings. And once we have that one thing, respect, digital etiquette closely follows. And I think that the time should be now that we have to propagate etiquette, embrace it, and encourage everybody to just embrace a culture of respect online.
Shaila, would you like to share your opinion on that?
I definitely agree with Attorney Mara, but I would like also to add our responsibility as users. We must also know the limits or our limits in social media, and so we should not depend our life on the internet or what we find online. So it's important that we also do things outside of the internet or outside of the applications that we use, that we do not depend our character or reputation on what's being written and what's being shown online. So I think it's important that we truly know ourselves and we truly keep the important people around us so that we stay grounded no matter how harsh it would be in social media.
All right. Anne, would you like to give your opinion then?
For me, Tito Norman, I would just like to add that there are also 2 points that I also have 2 points. First is social disconnection, in which we get to really get to focus just on our phones, that we forget to bond and be intimate with our family during occasions, during dinners. And second is the unrealistic standard setting, to which that we get to compare ourselves. There's actually this term comparisonitis, where we get to compare the achievements of others, unlike to uh, with ours. And that's where I also got to become a victim of wrong social media use, because I used to compare during the peak of the pandemic. I used to compare myself to others, to what they're posting online, without acknowledging that there are also struggles that they're facing, and they're just posting their achievements because that's what people need, entertainment, enlightenment during the pandemic. And so I just really like to highlight that social media is not evil, but the use of which can be. So it is up to us to be really responsible on how we use it.
Iba rin. Oo, lahat naman tayo naging biktima na rin. Ako nga, Diyos ko. There was a time, araw-araw, kumakain ako ng, ng pambibiktima sa social media. Pero sabi nga nila, when the minute you, kumbaga, pag tumatanda talaga, pag nagkakaedad, you mellow. You try to take things, parang, ay, naku, sana man lang may kapalit na 1 milyong piso bawat patulan mo na troll account or ano. But anyway, Kim, ikaw, you have an opinion to add to that?
Yes, I agree with all my fellow candidate, my fellow ladies, MWP ladies. I agree that it is a responsibility of ours to know how to handle properly our social media accounts. But we also should work hand in hand with the private platforms, all the private application, in order for them to actually implement strict rules, in order to punish those evil acts. I think it is also a good part in theirs as their responsibility to actually give a proper judgment on those kind of issues.
Thank you, Kim. Now, Doc Shaila, ikaw naman ito. Ano na ako, random na to. Hindi na ako, ala na akong susundin pattern ito.
Sige po.
What do you like most about yourself?
Ooh, that's really a tough question for me to ask. I am the biggest critic of myself, and so it has been. Actually, I'm still learning to love myself, and I think that what I love about it is that I really know where I can improve on things. Like I acknowledge where my weaknesses are, and I share my strengths to the people. I'm not a know-it-all kind of girl, and I love that about me. It keeps me grounded. That every day that I interact with people, I learn something new, and that when I interact with people, I also share to them things that I know about myself with other people. So I'm really just like a walking mosaic, parang pattern, or a walking puzzle of different people who has given me inputs about their lives, and that's something I want to also share to the world one day.
Alam mo, Doc Shaila, nakakaloka lang, kwento ko lang sa iyo. I once mentioned sa isang casual chat, sabi ko, sino isa sa magandang faces sa MWP? Sabi ko, si Shaila. Sabi ko, kung straight ako, liligawan ko yan. Kaya lang hindi ako straight, kaya no dice. Wala mangyayari. Yun, yung ganun. Siguro if I had a son who's her age, I would encourage my son. Oo, parang ganun ba? Diyos.
Wow, thank you, Tito. It's
Yeah.
funny, in this industry, sometimes maha-highlight kasi your weaknesses or what you lack. So it's really important, the friendship, the bond that we have with our co-candidates. It keeps us stronger, and they remind us of our purpose in life, the purpose in this pageant. That reminds us how beautiful we are, no matter how different we are from one another.
Kasi po, if there's one thing you should know about Doc Shaila, hindi po yan mahilig magyabang about herself. Kasi if there's one question na hirap yan sagutin, what makes you deserving of the crown compared to the other candidates? Ay, mahihirapan po yan sa mga ganun. Kasi nga po, si Shaila, hindi po mayabang yan. Kaya nga nakakatuwa, para bang ano siya, parang Girl Scout na nag-house to house ng cookies. Nabibili ka, ang sarap-sarap ng cookies. Parang ganon. Attorney Mararu, what do you like most about yourself?
I just want to add, Tito, Shaila was one of my first friends at the competition po. She was very welcoming. I talked to her during the first day po, and I know what you mean. Baka kung if I were into girls, ligawan ko rin po si Doc Shaila.
Alam mo, actually, I think there will be difficulty voting for a Miss Congeniality, the Miss World Philippines, because I think more than one girls will really be vying. Well, hindi naman, you don't vie for Miss Congeniality, pero more than one girl will get votes kung sino talaga yung Miss Congeniality. Ako, coming from my point of view, because nakikita ko. Okay, Mara, what do you like most about yourself?
I really appreciate deeply po my upbringing because my lola po, and I was raised by my grandparents, and my lola and my mom, they're medical volunteers. They facilitate medical missions, and my dad po is also a frontliner. He's a soldier, and he's always taught me about public service and helping the community. And it it was this upbringing that taught me to contribute to society po in a bigger way than just being a good person. You have to actively participate in projects, to donate, to give, facilitate programs, and it's just so timely that Miss World Philippines gave me this platform, and now I'm more openly able to reach out po to different communities, even in my own town. And I really think that my parents brought me up this way, and it made me humble. And I started from humble beginnings, and so they've always taught me to not take for granted anything that you get. You work for your education, you work for your scholarships, and it really taught me to just stay grounded, but also to reach for the stars and to keep your feet on the ground pa rin po.
Ay, ito naman po si Mara, kung ito po naging girlfriend ko, pero hindi ko na mangyayari yon kasi hindi na ako mahilig sa girl. Lagi ko naman pagagalitan yan kasi ang hiri-hiri po niya magsuot ng mga outfits na medyo revealing. Eh, conservative pa naman ako. Oo, pag makikita ko lang yan, yung sa Beach Beauty, sabi ko, ano ba yan? Sabi ko, why? Do you always have to, show off things? Sa gano'n. Parang, oo, alam mo naman ako, conservative ang lola niyo pagdating sa mga bagay na gano'n. Oo, pero pag nakikita ko na kayo as a group, tutuwa na ako. Kim, how about you, Kim? What do you like most about yourself?
Well, just like I can relate to Mara when it comes to the upbringing of of my mom. I was born and raised in Milan, Italy, with a very hardworking mom. So I tend to be left at home alone, and it developed my sense of independency. I grew up preparing my own meals, preparing my own stuff going to school, and it actually made me a much better person, a much better adult right now, because especially during the pageant in this time of pandemic, it is important that you also have a way to stand on your own and prepare your stuff for your own, because you can the person that you can bring with is limited, and it actually helped me a lot during the preparation of our pageant.
Oh, alam mo, ako curious na ako, sabihin ko lang sa iyo, Kim. Kasi like us, we did not grow up in Italy. We were not born in Milan.
Yes,
So, from our eyes, parang Milan is like a fashion capital na para bang napaka-sosyal, lahat ng mga mahal na items. Pero from your eyes, ano ang tingin mo sa Milan? Do you look at it that way too? Or parang ordinaryong city na lang siya sa iyo?
well, for me, Tito, it's a whole different city. I see it as a whole different way than you see it, because let's face it, it's another home aside from the Philippines. It's my second home. It's where I was born and I was raised. It's where my my who I was as a person started. It's where Kim was Kim was started. And Milan, Italy is just home. It gives me a home feeling rather than the fashion industry of the world. I see it as a place where I can actually feel at ease, and especially that's the place where my mom is, and my mom will always be my house, my home.
All right. Anne, what do you like most about yourself except for Batchoy?
Except for being Miss Batchoy, I'd say being open minded. Well, it was actually, at first, it was a struggle. Um, I was also like those teenagers who were really hard headed, who figure out things their own way. And I didn't know that. I mean, it took a lot of self actualization to finally listen to people around me, to have that wisdom, because I know for sure it has somewhat contributed to my growth as a person. And it's really true that with age comes wisdom. And only then when we get to realize and learn that somehow those learnings that our folks teach us are somewhat true.
Oh, naalala naman kita. Palagi ako may mga small anecdotes ako sa bawat isa sa inyo every time nagkataon tayo isa. Nung nag-screening yan si Anne, nung una hindi ko pa agad nakilala. Sabi ko, si Anne Palmares to sa Miss Iloilo. Sabi ko, ibang-iba pala ang impact niya in person. Totoo naman, Anne, in person, you project something so different from how you are in photos. Sa photos, parang, tingnan lang siya ganun, parang, okay. Pero pag na-meet ka na in person, pag nakausap ka na, ay, ayun, lumalabas na yung charm mo, yung ilongga charm mo talaga. Kaya, yun nga lang yun, ulitin ko na naman. Siguro kung naging straight ako, niligawan kita. Kaya lang hindi ako straight. So, hindi pwede. Hindi man ako lesbiana. Kaya, ganun lang, ano.
Thank you,
Alright.
Tito Norman. We appreciate your
Oh,
pleasantries. kung,
mm-mm.
Tito,
kung straight ka po, baka
sabi
kami
girlfriend.
din maliligaw sa'yo.
Opo.
Okay. Matutuwa naman ako, masarap naman pag maraming maniligaw, hindi ba? Kasi at least,
Opo.
hindi ka pa kinakailangang masyadong super seryoso about everything. Okay, ito ang aking last big question for all. At kayo sasagot ito. Ay, baka kinabahan naman sila sa last big question. Hindi naman po. Last big question lang because it's the last big question before our wrap up. So far, reviewing yung Miss World Philippines journey nyo from the start up to now, ano yung biggest realization nyo or learning that you think will make you a better person after the pageant is over? Ano yung biggest learning nyo or realization all throughout the pre-pageant of Miss World Philippines up to now? Siyempre, hintayin na lang natin ang finals. That you think will be of help to you after the pageant is over? Since Miss Batchoy spoke last, she will answer first here. And sige, let's
Yes,
start with you.
Tito. For me, biggest realization is to enjoy the moment and be in the present. Because sometimes, especially in this pandemic, we get to be really, we get to think ahead of ourselves. Like we're scared, we have fears of what will be, what tomorrow will bring, what the future will bring. And as for me, I'd say I get to really enjoy the pageant and be in that moment, be and present who I am to the world, to the whole nation, because I get to really be in my headspace, and that's when we get to enjoy, that we get to say that we have a life that's worth living. And yeah, it's basically, life is basically like that. We should really be in the moment and enjoy every day while it lasts.
Oo nga, sarap-sarap nga ng pagkain sa Red Hotel. Eh, Diyos ko, ang cute-cute pa ng ibang mga staff. O kaya, ano, nakakaloka, di ba? Lalo na si KR, si Lawrence, yung mga tumutulong sa atin doon, di ba?
Yes,
Kim, how
Tito.
about you, Kim?
Well, more than a realization, it was more of a experience. I've actually learned how to be more extrovert than introvert. You know me, Tito. I'm a very shy girl, and the pageant has actually made me realize that having more than just a group of friends, it's also a nice and fun thing to experience. I get to actually have a much deeper conversation with Attorney Mara and Anne and Shara even. Despite being in different batches, I had a chance to talk with Shara as well on our late days of our bubble. Yeah, we actually got to
Yeah.
bond as well. So those small interactions actually made a lot of impacts to me, and it actually made me love pageantry even more.
That's nice. Attorney?
For me, Tito, it's really the holistic development during the competition, especially when we were on lockdown, locked in. We were engaged in different kinds of challenges. So this involved sports, so shooting, obstacle course. We were able to engage in talent competitions, and this really pushed me to enhance my violin skills. We were able to do head-to-head challenge, and we were able to converse. And Kim and I were talking randomly about all kinds of different subjects, and we did the national costume, and I was so in love with the batchoy, and we had swimsuit competitions, and it really enhanced walking skills of everybody. And I think that this really encourages constant progress, all these different challenges. It inculcates in us the capability to do better and to improve ourselves, but also to improve with each other. With the help of our fellow candidates, our mentors, and you, our special guest, every single session call, it really pushes us beyond the boundaries of ourselves. And I'm just so thankful to all of you, Po, and the entire organization for helping us become a better version of ourselves every day.
Kaloka, na? Doc Shaila?
For me naman, Tito Norman, I think what I learned the most during my Miss World Philippines journey is actually to really get to know myself so much more on a deeper level. And when you face 44 other candidates who are just as beautiful and just so intelligent and has a lot to bring to the table, it's easy to get lost in that. And so you must learn how to anchor in your purpose and to really learn how to voice it out, to really know what your responsibility is in this pageantry and how you can showcase it not only to the staff, the organizers, to your co-candidates, and even to everyone, every Filipino all across the globe. And it's something that I can actually bring with me even after the pageantry. It's something that I can keep and keep doing years from now.
That's very nice because ako actually, every time I would show up in your activities, or hindi naman 100% of the time ako nandoon, but I feel so at ease with everyone. Kahit sino pa ang maabutan ko doon sa function hall and everything, alam ko that I need to project my aura right away na parang hindi pwedeng ano, I'm sure, 45 babae ito. Papadaig ba ako sa mga ito? Kailangan, pag dumating ako, parang may dumating na Queen Bee. Parang gano'n. Queen Bee. Parang may dumating na gano'n. And I'm so happy whenever, kasi ako, I don't know if you girls have noticed, I never make it a habit to stick to just one group of girls or the same girls all the time. Para akong paru-paro, I really hop from one huddle to the next or kung sino magkasama. Pag minamiss ako, I feel bad kasi parang sabi ko, hindi ako nakapag-pit stop dito kay ganito at ganoon. They might feel, lalo na nung orientation yun noon that I had to do coverage, but I had to do quick interview. So it was it was very tough on my part, pero I'm so happy that kumbaga, I've made myself accessible to all of you. Hindi lang doon sa ano. Although, I must say na 44 pa lang sa inyo ang friends ko sa Facebook talaga. Hindi ko sabihin kung sino yung isang hindi pa eh. Hindi yung iniisip nyo ha, nakakaloka kayo. Hindi yung iniisip nyo ha. It's another person, nakakaloka lang na, I don't know, somehow, it didn't happen. But all 44, ay friends ko sa Facebook, kaya I can easily tag. Kaya masaya ako. Now, we go to the part of a program where you'll be giving your parting words. Yung bang, what do you plan to do in the coming weeks na nakaset ng July 8, August 8 rather, ang finals, pero of course, naroon yung possibility na dahil ECQ, baka magkaroon na naman ng move and all. So, talk to the viewers and tell them what you hope to do in the coming week or two. And share your SOCMED accounts also. Okay, let's start with you, Kim.
Yes. Hi, everyone who's watching. This is Kim Panaligan Babao. You can follow me on Instagram, Kim_Panaligan, and you can follow me as well at Facebook at Kim Panaligan Babao. I would like to thank everyone who has supported us until now, as our respective fans and our respective loved ones, family and friends. And I would like you to stay put. We will definitely get into the final coronation night. We will definitely see you at the stage. And keep posted on each and every post that we make, because they will definitely be helpful in making our society a better place.
All right, Kim, let's go to you, Anne.
Well, first and foremost, thank you, Tito Norman, for giving us this opportunity to talk with you today. I've missed all the girls, and being here is so much fun. I'd like to also thank everyone who's viewing, especially to my supporters, to my family, my friends, and to all my kasimanwas in Iloilo City. Padayon lang gid kita sa pagbato. I also want you guys who are watching to please follow us on our social media accounts. Mine is Ann Palmares on Facebook and Ann Palmares triple S on Instagram. And also keep posted with the announcements on Miss World Philippines organization Facebook page, and also Miss World Phil on Instagram.
Yes, Anne Palmares.
Triple S.
Triple S talaga. Doc Shaila.
Right now, I feel nothing but gratitude to everyone who has been very supportive, not only of me, but the entire Miss World Philippines organization. And Tito Norman for always being with us, especially in our challenges. It really lightens the mood of all of the candidates when you're around. So we're very, very thankful for having you with us in our journey. And also, if you do want to keep posted, I know that our coronation has been delayed, but nothing to worry about because definitely we will get there. And for you to join us in our journey, please do follow me on my social media account. It's at Shaila Rebortera. Please do follow the social media account of Miss World Philippines organization as well. Right now, because we have more restrictions, we're under new protocols, and so kita-kita na lang tayo sa social media muna while we stay at home and prevent from getting sick or getting the COVID-19 uh, outside. So for us to stay safe, follow us on our social media accounts.
Kaloka talaga yung corona ng halo na yun. Na kayo na pa ako nagmamasang ko yung corona. Para talaga may corona ng puti. Kakaloka.
Parang nanahiya na.
Hindi, pero gusto ko natutuwa ako. Attorney Mara, please.
First of all, I would like to give a big thank you to our Miss Congeniality, Tita Norman, and there. And also to my Miss World Philippines sisters. I miss you all, and I can't wait for us to get together again and to compete and to bring out the best in each other. I want to say thank you to all our friends and fans, especially those from Bohol, from Tagbilaran City, and from all over the world, supporting all the girls in Miss World Philippines. I invite you to follow me also on my social media. So you can follow me on Facebook, Mara Ruiz, or on Instagram at Mara Ru. So that's at MARAROOO. That's also my nickname. And now that the pageant has been set on August 8th, we're hoping that it pushes through. But in any case, at some point, it will transpire. And hopefully, in the meantime, just stay safe as much as possible. Stay home, be healthy. And the enemy is not just the COVID-19 virus. You have to be healthy from all sicknesses, disorders, mental illnesses. It's a whole big wide world, and take care of yourself, prioritize yourself, but also care for each other. Thank you.
Thank you, Mara. Actually, ito po ang season 5 finale natin ng Pageantry Norms. And unlike the past 4 seasons where I pressure myself na yung season finale has to be with a super big time guest and all, ayoko i-pressure ng sarili ko. I just want to have a fun discussion with ladies I'm comfortable with. I'm comfortable actually with almost all the Miss World Philippines girls. Kaya lang, I've already guested more than half. So syempre parang random na lang talaga ako eh. Dapat nga kasama nyo rin si Michelle ngayon, pero okay lang sa akin that the four of you are here with me. And komportable lang talaga po ako with these ladies. Si Shaila po, pag katabi ko yan, ang gaan-gaan ang pakiramdam agad. Kasi pag nag-smile na yan, sabi ko kanina, parang everything is okay. Si Mara, parang na, hindi naman abogado kausap mo. You're just speaking with someone who has fun spelled sa kanyang forehead. Ay, naku, pag mag-diving, Diyos ko Lord, kailangan magaling yung diver na mag-piggyback ako sa diver kapag gano'n, kailangan
It's
ano
still an
siya.
open invitation po, Tito. Join me in
Oo,
Bohol.
I need to piggyback sa isang male diver also because it's hard. It's hard to dive. Oo. Yes. Actually, kung tutuusin, lahat ng provinces yung apat na puntahan ko na eh. Oh, I've been to Bohol, I've been to Oriental Mindoro, I've been to Cebu, and of course, Iloilo. Kaya, ano na ako, I know what to expect from your respective provinces already. Kaya, masaya ako na kayo ang kasama ko sa Season 5 finale. And sabi ko nga kanina, I don't want to pressure myself na mag-guess ako ng isang tao lang. Tapos super pressured ako dahil ang hirap iset yung schedule niya for a specific moment na sobrang big time. Ako gusto ko yung yung walang pressure lang. Tell nyo, tapos magiging future beauty quiz pa yung mga ito. So in the future, pag naging beauty quiz na sila, pag in-invite ko silang mag-guest, hindi na sila makakahindi sa akin because meron na kami pinagsamahan, hindi ba? So, yan po ang season 5 natin. Na, alam niyo po, time really flies so fast. Every season po, we have 10 episodes and I could not believe that this is already our 50th or actually technically our 51st episode of Pageantry Norms dahil there was one season kasi where we had 2 episodes a week because of Miss Universe at the time. Pero this is our 51st episode of Pageantry Norms. And hindi ko na po maisip kung anong gimmick ang gagawin ko for next season. Pinapressure na po akong producer ko at saka ng director na isip tayo ng bago. Sabi ko, oh my God, sabi ko, alam niyo girls, sa totoo lang, kaya ako nag-skip ng episode last week. Kasi ang plano ko talaga, season 5 finale ko, ang guest ko ngayon, yung lahat ng winners na ng Miss World Philippines. Yun ang original plan talaga, to be honest. No? Dahil July 25 dapat ang finals. So August 1, inaprubahan na ako nila Mamaru na, okay, sige, sa'yo mag-guess ang lahat ng winners ng August 1. Kaya lang nga, hindi nga natuloy ng July 25. And sabi nga nung director ko, nung mag-episode ba tayo ng July 25? So ako naman, sabi ko, ayoko, nada-down ako. Kumbaga parang, nada-down ako for the ladies kasi yung down feeling nila dahil na hindi na tuloy pa yung finals, nafe-feel ko, sabi ko, wala ako sa mood na mag-show last weekend. Kaya sabi ko, August 1 na lang. Kaya pinlano ko lang yung last Monday. Kaya nung minessage ko kayo, nung ko pa lang talaga iniisip ko ano gagawin. Hindi ko pa alam kung ano mangyayari, pero alam ko that I can carry through the episode kasi familiar na ako with the ladies. Yun. So, yan po aming season 5. Abangan niyo po either a week or 2 from now. Hindi ko po alam kung August 15 o August 21 mag-start ang season 6. Pero, sana po may winners na tayo ng Miss World Philippines side din. Excited ako. Magandaan. Yun. So, happy lang po tayo. Always stay safe. Alam niyo po, girls kayo ba? Mga bakunado na ba kayong lahat?
Yes.
Po, Tito. Fully po.
Yun nga maganda eh. Kasi, siyempre, hindi mo naman pwedeng i-take for granted na lang yung Delta variant na yan and everything. So, natutuwa lang ako every time we do our Miss World pre-pageant activities, negative tayo palagi. Kaya, kumbaga, maingat naman kasi talaga. Maingat. Kaya, ganun po. we're very careful po. And again, ayan na po ako. I'm just bubbling right now. This is our episode 10, season 5 finale for Pageantry Norms. Ang saya ko lang po because this is my anniversary season. Pero this has been one of the seasons na pinaka-least ng pressure sa akin because hindi ko pinressure ang sarili ko to guess all the big names. And I chose to guess people I'm comfortable talking to. Oo. Like that episode, guest ako ng puro guys. Ay, naku, Diyos ko Lord. Ang sinasaya ko lang noon, hindi pa Pilipino mga guest ko. All Dutch line up ako noon, girls. Would you believe? Hindi ako makapaniwala. All Dutch line up. Oo, kaya baka for next season, ang guest ko, Kim. Mga from Italy. Promise ko na yan dun sa mga kilala mo, mga kaibigan mo, iba yata sa kanila. From
Yes.
Mr. Republica.
Yes.
Pero for season 6 yun. Definitely kasi they had their finals last night. So I always have one episode na puro male ang guest. So silang guest ko for that one. Hindi ko pala alam kung kailan ba ito. Baka by September pa yon. But let's see. Now, thank you, Mara, Kim, Anne, and Shaila for keeping me company this afternoon. Lagi po ako
Thank you
nakatingin
so
sa time.
much, Tito Norman.
Hindi nyo ba napapansin yung timer dyan sa upper corner?
Yes.
Lagi ako nakatingin dyan. Hindi na ako kasi pag ayoko nag-overtime masyado dahil kapag ganito akong director namin, overtime na naman tayo, Queen Mother, ano ba yan? Pero masaya ako pag ganyan. Pero I'm just so happy that tayo magkasama for the season 5 finale. Kita-kita tayo sa finals sa Miss World Philippines.
Thank you.
And I'm
Yes,
saying that to the 4 of you. Magkita-kita tayo sa finals na At definitely, tuloy pa rin po yung sinabi ko sa kanila noon, whoever wins Miss World Philippines, lahat po ng title holders will be guesting on Pageantry Norms in a very special episode. Hopefully po, within August or September, mag-go na yon. So, thank you so much. Let's give everyone a big flying kiss, ladies. And let's wave. Beauty Queen, wave. Bye-bye, everyone. Stay safe. Like I do. My
Stay
love
safe,
life is
everyone.
always safe. Wala kasi akong love life. Kaya safe lang ako palagi.